Okay, all of you guys, we're back with Sandeep. And you know what? This is what's called inspired action. There we had it. We just decided to go at it. And we're going to talk to you a little bit more on this session about consciousness, energy, and Ayurveda. And just for a moment, for all of you that know it, this space here at Wellness Wave Creations, I'm an Ayurvedic health counselor and a clinical specialist in training. And Ayurveda is being a personal decision before any kind of business decision. And it is actually the knowledge of life. And one of the first and most important principles, I think, that strikes me with Ayurveda is that our own well-being and health is really a personal responsibility. So I really believe that in order to be responsible, we have to be conscious of what we're dealing with, what we are, who we are, what our body is, what our mind, what our energetics are, what our frequency is, what our energetic signature is, which is a main product, if you will, here at Wellness Wave Creations. And people ask me, what the hell are you talking about, Orshi? What is an energetic signature? And truly, I do get that question quite a bit. Sandeep, who is my guest today, again, from India, a consciousness expert, massive number of decades of experience with professional and personal clientele. I cannot wait to hear what you've got to say on the matter. Why exactly is an energetic signature so important? What exactly that is? What is energy? What is all of this mumbo jumbo?
Thank you, Orshi, for having me back. Let me start with some science. Energy is equal to mc square. Everyone knows that. This means you, I, a laptop, our smartphones, our houses, our tables, our lenses, our specs, everything is energy. Energy pulsating at different levels. Now, we also know that energies are pulsating at different levels. Sometimes they combine and sometimes they react to each other. We also know that subtle energies cannot, or refined energies cannot stay along with gross energies because there's a gross frequency mismatch. Now, what happens in the human frame? We got a number of energies working inside us, but okay, primarily, fundamentally, there are three energies. Number one, the soul energy, which is very subtle, very smooth, very calm. Then we have the mind energy, which can be as excited as a child and which could be as subtle as the saint. So it's called the field of duality. And then we have the body energy, which is always pulsating fast. So we have three energies inside us pulsating at three different frequencies. And there is also a window of tolerance. Now, when I say a window of tolerance, this means a field in which till the time we are within that field, we are normal, we are effective and efficient. And the moment we go either north or south of the field, havoc is there in our life. And now, when I say havoc, now what do I mean? I mean, when it goes north, there's agitation, there's anger, there's aggressiveness. And when it goes south, there is total chaos because of confusion, brain fogging, etc., etc. Now, what do we need to do? We need to expand our window of tolerance so that we start moving from reactivity to responsivity. Now, how do we do that? I'll give it to you later. Now, coming to Ayurveda. What does Ayurveda do? The Ayurveda, since it works at the epigenetic level, tends to harmonize these energies. Now, when the body energy, the frequency comes down, harmonizes with the mind energy, you start operating from the level of the mind, which is much higher than the level of the body. You say you have transcended. No, the only thing is your body energy and your mind energy, they've harmonized. So you're thinking better. You're in a better position to focus. You're in a better position to concentrate. And further, when the mind energy harmonizes along with the body energy, with the spirit energy, you're operating from the higher level with love. You're healthy. There's no frustration. There's no anger. You are taking lovely decisions, excellent decisions. you are contented, you are blissful, joyful. Now, the harmonization of the three energies is critical.
So, Sandeep, as I'm, of course, listening and immersing completely in all of your words, and it's bringing me back to practice, which, when I see my patient clients, and this is always what we actually examine, the frequency on all the three different levels. And then and this is when I talk to you guys, and I'm talking to all the clients that are viewing this about the differentiation of frequency. When you've got too big of a differentiation, I think that would be out of the threshold, Sandeep, right? Then there's inevitable discomfort. And so everybody, when they're experiencing a physical ailment, and you're insisting that the solution is only some sort of a physical solution, and it's only going to be an isolated thing over to the physical body, I just don't think that you're going to have an integrated healing process. So I'm very glad that Sandeep is confirming this from a little bit of, with your words, a little bit from a different angle, but we're all talking about the same thing. So what happens, and I see this often, when someone has got super charged of a mind, but their body isn't, and so or the other way around, the body seems to be in order in some sense, but the mind is not being fed with the right frequencies. So what would you say to those in my Vibe Tribe, in my international business, in my local circuits, so to those people that are wanting to be entrepreneurs, that I want to be out there, what can they do in order to what are the tips, how they can cultivate this, how can they start this coordination of harmonization, and so therefore and apply it into their business?
Oshi, now what do we need to harmonize? What do we need to develop coherence with? Number one is our heart. Heart represents our soul. Now, when I say heart, I don't mean the pumping heart, I mean the heart chakra. Okay, that is the soul. Number two is our brain. Now, brain represents a mind. Okay, but the mind comes and feeds something to the brain processes. So heart, brain, and the way we react our relationships. These three things need to be harmonized. They need to be coherence. Now, these three things operate at three different levels. The medicine, or what works at the physical level, will work at the physical level only. Okay, there's a pitcher, there are holes in the pitcher. Now you're pouring water into it and the water is flowing out. So you've got to mend the pitcher. That is the body. So you'll use clay and seal the puncture. So that is what the medicines in Ayurveda do, with the end objective of harmonizing the frequencies. Similarly, when you go to the overall thing, to calm your mind, there are different exercises like pranayama, the breathing exercises. They work at the mind level, at the brain level. And when the mind is calm, neuroplasticity kicks in.
Yeah, and that's what we understand about the food channel that connects the body and the mind,
Right.
and then the breath channel that connects the body and the mind and beyond to even, let's just say, the soul or the karma body or whatever you wish to call it, for the purposes of that we have to have a connection. So the food thing is important and the breath work is important. So pranayama exercises are something we do recommend with many holistic therapies to assist the body mind soul correlation or connection and harmonization.
Then what is left is the soul. You see, as you keep on progressing, the soul, which is very weak because of the layers of the mind and the body, as you start, managing the energies at the physical level and the mental level, the potency of the soul starts surfacing. And again, there has to be an intent. You've got to practice so it becomes reflexive. Practice what? Compassion, gratitude, surrender. And when you start practicing these things, the qualities of the soul also start surfacing. And ultimately, a coherence established. And when a coherence is established, then you become fit to use your body where it is required, to use your mind where it is required, and to use your higher qualities where it is required.
So, how does someone start in the cultivation process?
Okay.
They're already
Now,
watching us. They're already, they already have a certain frequency where I would want to believe that in this 5 tribe, they already have the certain frequency, the certain understanding, some sort of a preparedness. They're already searching. They're already looking for the truth.
First of all, I would like to tell our listeners, Orshi, to excel and thrive in life, nothing less than an integrated approach works, and nothing more is required. Okay. Now, let me give you that simple integrated solution. At the body level, it is AOPA. Now, what does A stands for? Start managing your attention, or attention management.
Yeah.
Because without managing your attention, you can neither think nor can you act. Attention is the driver of everything. And remember, on whatever you invest your attention in, that thing grows. Invested in anger, anger would grow. Invested in peace, peace would grow. So one is attention management. The second is observation. Observe what? Like I said, consciousness is an in-out process, out-in process. There's something happening outside, there's something happening inside. So observe both, because we live in 2 worlds simultaneously, the inner world and the outer world. And we need to carry both the worlds together. We need to create a harmony between both the worlds. The inner world would give you the values, the ethics, the aspirations, the dreams, and the external world helps you to fulfill them.
Yeah.
Now, and the third is the pause. You must have seen that whenever there's a stimulus, first there's an internal reaction, and then there's an external reaction. And there's a small gap between the internal and the external. Pause is putting your finger on that pause and taking half a deep breath so that your emotional brain, which receives the signal faster than your rational thinking brain, is not able to hijack your reaction. Viktor Frankl says, between the stimulus and the response is the space of freedom. So pause is using that space for freedom. So instead of reacting, you respond. And the fourth thing, that is the A, is acceptance. The way we accept reality is, we say, yes, I'm loving this thing, but I'm loving it because of this reason. Now, what have you done? You have accepted reality, but diluted reality, because you have shifted your attention from the event to the justification. So all I say is, good, bad, ugly, whatever happens, accept it, pause, let it get into you, and then you get into the justifications or the support mechanism or whatever you want to do with it. Because we are hardwired not to be in pain. So whenever there's a challenge with us, our brain, which does not distinguish between imaginary challenge or real challenge, gets into the mode of finding a solution. Now, this was at the physical level. Now, when you do this thing at the physical level, what changes would happen at the mind level? Remember the word phases. F standing for flexible, you'll start becoming flexible. A stands for adaptable, you'll start becoming adaptable. C stands for coherence. You'll be coherent in your purpose, thoughts, and actions. Energized, E is energized, S is stable. Now imagine if you get these 4 factors at the mental level, what's going to happen? Your life would change profoundly. And at the spirit level, what would become your guiding force? Because now you're listening better, you're thinking better, you're hearing better, you're observing better, you're relating better, you're learning better. So what would happen at the spirit level? You'll be operating with excellence, with compassion and gratitude. So these 3 levels are integrated. And how do you make it happen? Well, the first 4 was very clear. You got to practice them. There are exercises for that. You can always get in touch with Orshi or with me. What do? You've got to have a firm resolve. Number 1, an intention. Without an intention, nothing is going to happen.
Yeah.
You got to have courage, perseverance, and patience. Courage, because when you start going inside yourself, so many skeletons fall out, so many dark secrets fall out, so many ugly faces fall out, that you should have the courage to accept them. Patience, because you have been carrying those tendencies for a long time. If you have carried a tendency for 20 years, at least give it 20 weeks for it to go away.
Right. Every decade takes at least minimum 1 month of pure protocol of detoxification process, right? With probably I want to say to you, the highest level of quality of tools or technologies even, or the highest level of foods. So people don't expect fast results, but do expect that you have to have the intention to want to get at this, right? And that's where it's all at. And these golden tokens are going to go a real far way. I want to say that we, are so much in agreement from every direction, because there's just a certain universal truth to how we actually operate as body, mind, soul beings. And so I have had to learn how to actually navigate my internal and external consciousness a lot. I'm a person, whoever has known me in my space of the last so many years of in 2 different industries, I only have paid attention to the externalized processes to make sure I deliver well there. But I absolutely forgot about internal processes and the internal consciousness. Somehow I have not operated on a successful level. And sure enough, a disease or an issue ensued. So it is extremely important to encourage body, mind, soul correlation, harmonization. There's so many great tools, like Sandeep said. Pranayama exercises are amazing. We recommend them at my Ayurvedic space, depending on people's physiological energies, which we can actually talk a whole lot more about physiological energies and how that works in terms of business and in the quantum field of business, because that's another major big topic. And I want to thank you so much, Sandeep, about talking, or I want to thank you for talking about the consciousness matter, about how we can actually cultivate a better life, or maybe best life, more abundance, more success, and how unarguably we cannot avoid spirituality or consciousness, as we are spirit beings. So how could we have that taken out of the equation of energy, right? So thank you so much. And I am very sure that there will be continuations. So stay tuned if you're interested. I'm going to, when I post all of these videos, put our contact information for Sandeep as well as for us here at Wellness Wave Creations, and look out for more West and East collaboration and talks on all these exciting topics that I think are the cornerstone of the age we're entering, and the age of Aquarius ahead of us. And all of us, by coordinating this way and being more conscious, I really think that we set ourselves up for an easier transition to this new world upon us.
Well, thank you very much, Orshi. Thank you very much. I loved it. as the last thing, well, so guys, just have courage, just have patience, and just have perseverance. These three things will take you very far in life. Don't consider spirituality and consciousness as something woo-woo. No, they're real, they're practical, and they can add a lot of value to you. Secondly, they also lead to the higher thing, which we say that, okay, trans-social, but that's optional. Use these things to give meaning, purpose, excellence, and efficiency to your life. Use these things for a happier you. Use these things for a more successful you. Thank you, Urshi, for this opportunity.
Thank you. And invest in yourselves. It always will pay out. Most surely, the greatest investment advice. Thank you, Sandeep. We'll see you soon in the space. Can't wait to see you. Maybe soon enough from India. Who knows? Let's put it out there. Namaste. Thank you so much.